Okay, we're back. And I've got this Deep Elf Monk going here. Hey Wes, what's up? Hello Aaron, that's false. Sorry to disappoint. See if I can remember what all I was doing here. Oh right, we were becoming a Sif Muna necromancer basically. And I see that I haven't bothered to train any air magic. I should do that. Just so SLS is a little bit better off. And we've almost got Spell Hunger gone. I remember I was having a ton of trouble in vaults for a variety of reasons, including Yaktars. Now, deflect missiles would be really nice, but we haven't found it. Swamp 4, I left a Thorn Hunter and a book, which I suppose could have deflect missiles in it. D14, I left Louise due to banishment. Why am I not carrying around this chainmail? Let's see if we can cast anything in it. Yeah, we could probably kill Louise in this chainmail. Well, no, she's got Lightning Bolt, and we don't have Aralek. Wes, Yaktars are really, especially Yaktar captains, they're just like aimbotters, you know, they can do a lot of damage very accurately. And the issue there for a low AC, low EV, low hit point character like a Deep Elf is that they just tear through your hit points. Now I have a shield on and you would think it would be better, but if it hits me, I don't have much in the way of you know, hit points to survive. You know, there's not a lot of wiggle room when you die to the Yaktar. But I didn't die to the Yaktars is the thing. I just almost did last session. Yeah, and it looks like we left Jorgrun on Spider 3. Did I? Yeah, I guess I have one rune. I guess I did kind of ninja the Zot, the Decaying Rune of Zot from Swamp. I didn't totally clear Swamp 4. And I remember Spider 3 was just like a total mess. Wish we had like an invisibility evoker. That'd be good. We're really at a little bit of an impasse here in terms of where this character should be. I think we're going to go to D14. Right, exactly, Wes. I mean, you just really don't want to put yourself in situations where you're liable to take a bunch of damage, you know? Oh god, like this. However, we've got the ultimate combo, which is SLS and BVC. Something invisible is here. Something is blocking my construction. I'm trying to trap him in between me and the spire, but it's not really working. Aaron, that is a pretty accurate comparison there. Okay, good. It should be confused. There we go. Flash flood warning. You know, California, especially close to the ocean, occurs to me. It's like something... It's a place people shouldn't live at. you know, because your houses just kind of sink into the ocean anytime that anytime there's a problem. I think they actually have to put houses on stilts over there. Is that right? But the water situation in that state has always confused me because you guys have droughts and stuff, and yet it actually floods when it rains sometimes. Yeah, we left a Sif Muna book down here at some point. And it had Orb of Destruction in it, and Battlesphere. Those are pretty good spells, but I don't think we really need them. Maybe OOD. But we're just not trained up enough in Conjuration to make good use of that. Oh, San Diego, okay. Alright, gotta keep in mind this guy can do quite a lot of damage to me, so we'll put the SLS between. Another thing about this character that's interesting to consider is that I don't really have any resistances at all. I have RF plus, I guess, and I could put on RF or resist cold if I needed to, but just while walking around, this is pretty naked in terms of resistance. We just haven't had very good RNG when it comes to items, except for, of course, the Ring of Phasing. That's a really good find. Let's put Lightning Spire on E. That's where I'm used to having it. Nice. Summon Lightning Spire. It's this little blue guy, cyan guy here. It's very nice in general, but it's especially good. It's especially good when you have BVC or Val Clutch, since you can stick it there and then still do damage from behind it, so you're relatively safe from projectiles. Trying to stay far away from Azrael here. Yeah, you should use SLS. By itself, it wins games, you know? Okay, we have RF plus. Pretty safe to engage those guys. Did not know you were gone, Aaron. But welcome back. Yeah, it's the fact that you can place it wherever you want is partially what makes it so broken. And, I mean, it just does so much is the thing. You know, it strikes in a line. Oh, whoops. But yeah, I mean, it can just destroy a whole line of enemies. It even multi-zaps. You know, the damage is great. It actually is fairly beefy and hard to take out. So it tanks pretty well, you know. +2 gloves. Well, I'm a little confused because Louise is supposed to be here, but she's not. Oh, wait, okay. Never mind. It's just that I excluded her. So here's how we're going to avoid getting... here's how we're going to avoid getting banished. Put the SLS between me and her. Can still take a lot of damage from her lightning bolt, and of course she could still blink right next to me, like so. But all in all, it's a better situation than it could be. Let's make a demon. Let's make another demon. See how I'm blocking her from really being able to target me? There we go. Not only did she have Banish, she has, she spawned with a Morning Star of Distortion. So you really didn't want to get her next to me, you know. Mana to damage ratios. Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, you've pretty much said it. And that's one of the reasons summons are broken in general, is that they sit on the screen for a long time, as does BVC for that matter. You know, and you cast it once and then you just forget it. Yeah, I didn't have that at first, the pop-out chat. Someone instructed me that is possible in Twitch. I didn't know that until a few days ago. I think it's nice because I'm recording this for YouTube as well, so kind of a record. Of course, it's not so nice if people start, you know, trolling or whatever, and I have to edit the video. That hasn't happened yet, but it's just like, normally I don't care. I'm a big free speech guy, but because I'm doing this on platforms where you can get your account shut down for almost nothing, you know, have to be careful. Doesn't sound like you're just talking to voices in your head. Yeah. Oh wow. Aimbot on my lightning spire. I hope not, Aaron. Alright, this is bad. I've come down and the 8-headed Hydra actually got a turn on me. Would have felt very unfair if it had killed me. Let's... Oh god. Wow, this is really bad. Really don't want to be next to the Etten. This is probably a haste situation. Yeah, Aaron, you called it. Geez, it just is not, it's not great that we're lacking in the kind of resources that would kind of automatically get us out of this. I could fear, by the way. This is gonna, if I go northwest, this is gonna put us next to the Hydra, I think. Yep. But that was a risk I kind of had to take. Why did they remove haste and control blink teleport? I don't know. I mean, haste was honestly a pretty strong spell. Like, I sort of understand removing it, keeping it on off tap or whatever, but Alistair's Intoxication. Yeah, there's some spells in the game, not just that one, but geez, I don't know, like Gel's Gravitas and the Lita's Liquefaction. Certain things that just nobody uses, probably shouldn't be in the game anymore. It's just fluff. Toxic Radiation can be a pretty good spell. Believe it or not, especially if you have Ignite Poison. There are reasons to use that. I really wouldn't, but there are reasons. Alright, we're putting this haste to good use at least. Along with Lamp of Fire. Really annoying situation down here. Uh-oh. Okay, would rather not be next to this dude. Let's, well, I was gonna say let's use a feel, but we don't have it. Venom Magus should start with Ignite Poison. I mean, yeah, I agree. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Let's make a Spire here. to block paralysis. And then I'm actually gonna fear. Oh, wait a minute. I think that banish might be counted as a panic spell, but they don't have banish, do they? Yeah, they don't. Okay, I'm safe. The panic spells or emergency spells or whatever you want to call them will be cast even when they're feared. Poisonous Vapors does spawn a poison cloud at higher power levels, Aaron. That's actually a thing that happens. I need some demons. Hopefully they don't come hostile. We also need to channel a little bit. Yeah, it seems like it doesn't because it requires a decent amount of spell power, and I think even when you have the required spell power, it doesn't always happen. Like, I've always thought that Venom Mages should... I mean, I realize that they are supposed to have an easy early game, but that's not even really true, at least on D1, because Sting is, like, the worst spell in the game, you know? Or the worst starter spell, at least, in terms of damage. I would give them Acid. That's something people have always talked about, and it's just something that is never going to happen. But I think it would be cool to just give them like a level 9 spell that summons acid clouds on every available tile. Would that really be broken? I don't think so. Just give them an in-game. You know, every other book has an end game. Why can't poison? And don't tell me that poison arrow counts as an end game, because it doesn't. It just feels like, it feels dumb to me that there's a book start where you're entirely forced, like there's just no end game to it. You know, and you could say that Enchanter is kind of the same thing, but at least Enchanter isn't straight up damage, you know. A damage school. And even so, at least Enchanting has Discord, you know. Which is a viable and interesting endgame thing. I really probably wouldn't add more three school spells to the game. Realistically, 3 school spells are just silly, like nobody uses them. Man, I wish I had Blink. Still not available. CJ Poison, yeah, that'd be fine. I don't know, I still think it would be cool to have just a level 9 spell, Pure Poisons. All it does is dump acid clouds on every available tile. Or not even the empty tiles, just literally every tile in sight except for your own. Well, Meth Cloud is a prolific spell because it's low level. Freezing Cloud, I would actually say, is not a prolific spell. It was considered really good back in the day, but you have to remember that there have been silly nerfs along the way. Like, for example, if I do not see clouds, those clouds don't exist. Like, if I were to make a freezing cloud on some dudes and close the door, clouds are gone. This is really dumb and makes freezing cloud a very bad spell to get 99% of the time. There are situations where it's good to use, but almost never. It's level 6, it's 3 schools. You're not going to get it online fast enough for it to be relevant, you know. Door tech nerfs, right. Okay, we've cleared dungeon finally. I'm tempted to just do elf. On the other hand, geez, I don't know, because master archers would still wreck me. Well, the funny thing to do, Wes, is that like the funny thing about that is that you can still do it with Malign Gateway. Just cast Malign Gateway and close the door, you know. Removing fun from the game for reasons, right? That is something that I complain about pretty often. You know, something that I think that really could be better. Actually, what am I doing? I have SLS. That means I can safely clear this. Safely clear the Thorn Hunters. My AC is shockingly acceptable when I have the dagger buff, the protection dagger buff. Transmigration A. I got excited because I thought that was going to be a T-Lok's book, and it turns out it's just 2 very garbagey transmutation spells. Wow. Let's identify this amulet. Gourmand. Well, we don't have an amulet. I'll wear it. Do I have Lich Form yet? Yes, it's available. I don't have it online, of course. But that means that if I feel like it, if I were to feel like it, I could do extended with this character. I don't think I really want to because I'm kind of waffling on it because the deal is that having level 9 spells and whatnot, of course I'll be able to do extended, but I hate doing extended with low hit points, and there's no way not to have low hit points as a deep elf. Outside of very lucky mutations, I guess. No, there's 5 people who've won Demo, surprisingly. I just checked. Like, I think I may need to actually hurry up and win if I want to get one of the first 8 for the Nemelex choice. I love SLS here. Really got to use those positioning tricks, you know. If you want to avoid dying on a deep elf. 27 all skills. I mean, I guess we do get clan points for doing a zig. I could at least do that, but I don't know. I think I'd rather do it on a deep dwarf or something. It lurks below. I have not heard of that game, but yeah, if you want to pay me, I'll do it. That's a no-brainer for me, if that's not a euphemism, you know. Money is the way to my heart. Alright, let's try to do Spider 3. Hopefully nothing gets berserked. Things that are against my ethics and morals, Aaron. Which I do have. Believe it or not. Let's Ice Blast just to take him out. And let's Fear. And there's Jorgrun. And he can technically petrify me. But I do have 4 cancellation, so that's not a huge deal. Am I a capitalist? Yeah, I guess so. I'll make 3 demons. Ooh, I'm being constricted. I'm being constricted by Jorgren. Yeah, I did some blind tome, which I guess is more of a roguelike, you know, than an RPG, but it's still an RPG. People seem to like that, although I don't know. I said I was going to play more of it, but the community there seems even more insane than dungeon crawls, and like the game itself was not terribly interesting to me. But I think like fully half of the people I've met from the Tome community are just completely insane. So I guess that shouldn't really matter in terms of the game, you know. But it's kind of, if I'm gonna spend a lot of time learning a game, I would like to have a community built around it that I can kind of share that knowledge with and like learn and teach and whatnot. Jorgren is about to get #wrecked by this Orb of Destruction, which is always fun. I think, anyway. Sometimes orbs do wacky stuff. No, there we go. It hit him. I actually got banned from the Tome Discord by that Sheila person, because I posted like a funny conversation I had with somebody where like this weirdo messaged me, and because my name on Discord is Rose, I guess he thought I was a girl. And he was like asking for nudes and stuff. and so I decided to mess with him. And I sent him, like, I was like, okay, but you gotta get on rosecrypto.com and buy some Bitcoin first. You know, because it's like, if you're gonna send messages like that to people out of the blue, you kind of deserve to get trolled, if you ask me. And so I posted the log in the Tome Discord. And they were like, they were like, oh, you're stealth advertising your website here, and we're tired of it, so we're banning you. It was the weirdest thing. Like this mod, he went on this rant like about how like he was like, oh well, your stream had advertisements in it too, and I'm like, it's my stream. Like I can more or less do what I want in my stream, right? Like what are you doing policing what I'm doing on my own channel, you know? Like I mean, of course I'm going to direct people to my other content, but I don't know, it's people who take the internet super seriously just deeply confuse me, you know? I just tend to try to avoid places like that, because it's just not, it's not worth the headache. I mean, obviously my personality is such that I'm gonna try to have fun with stuff, and if people don't like that, you know, it's whatever, you know, what can you do? This is so much better now that we've come back with some more experience and some more defenses and some better spells. It's not like I can tab this stuff, but I can go into melee without being too fearful of just getting wrecked. Ghost moths would still be a big deal, and I'm sure we're going to run into at least one more. Probably multiple more. There's one right now, I think. Let's, wow, this is wide open. I don't like this at all. Let's fear to start out with. Spire. Demon. Do I want to just immolate? I mean, this is actually pretty risky hanging out here because I could get webbed, so why don't we go up? As much as I wanted to just duke it out, you really gotta not trust your, you know, when your gut feeling that you want to just go and be Rambo in this game. It's almost never the right call. What I will do here, though, this is good. This is really good. I'm going to set up something awesome. Let's get the AC. We've got the AC. This is a perfect place to do this. kill hole plus lamp of fire is a solid strategy that will very rarely fail you. Also, fun fact, really can't get orbs through this diagonal corridor, so you don't have to worry too much about orb spiders either. No corpses, unfortunately. This Gourmand amulet is not doing as much for me as I would like it to. Use the wall there. Man, these wide open spider floors are never fun to deal with. Why is Dig uncommon now? Your guess is as good as mine. Gamma Funk essentially is at war with the idea of being able to change the layout of the dungeon. I would be extremely surprised if Shatter even keeps breaking walls for another version or two. I think this is dumb. Like, I've always thought that dungeon crawl and games in general are more fun when you can find clever solutions, you know, to problems that don't necessarily involve just duking it out. Like, look at the Fallout series. It was always cool to me that you could play an entire game without killing anybody if you wanted to. Pacifist run. You know, these kind of alternate routes to victory. Will Dig and LRD destroying walls and things like that were great examples of alternate paths to victory, you know, tools that allowed you to do that. No, LRD doesn't break walls at all. And Gamma Funk gets really, really mad, or so I'm told, when I point this out. He doesn't want people to know it, I guess, but like, that was changed, in my opinion at least, to protect his silly, there's those vaults with like 1 million Zot traps in them. He didn't want people to be able to just backdoor the loot, you know? Because, I mean, if you're sane and not suicidal, you don't want to go into those vaults ever, since you can just get paralyzed and die. So anybody who was playing for win rate either wouldn't go in, or they would drink a brilliance and they would LRD in the back and get the loot, and kind of drain out the vault of monsters not next to Zot traps. So, I mean, the idea for the vault itself would be neat, I guess, if Zot traps were not so badly designed, you know? But that's like a Mary Sue type addition to the game, where he's very impressed with it, and he wanted people to be kind of forced to interact with it, you know? And it's like, God forbid you. Yeah, see, that was my error, and that is exactly what came to mind for me. Like, why not just make the walls unbreakable if you really want to protect the vault, you know? But they have this thing. I tried to submit a couple vaults once, and I got very disillusioned with the GitHub PR process for this game very early on, because it's like just gatekeepers. You can't get anything in unless you are like playing the politics game and are best buddies with somebody who has commit access. And this is just me trying to submit a vault. But in the process of doing that, I learned that for whatever reason, they really don't like to put unbreakable walls into the game. But for me, it's like, if you care so much about your precious vault, you know. But this speaks to a big disconnect between my idea of what the ideal philosophy is for game development and the devs of this game, because I think that bypassing the intended entrance of a vault is in and of itself a very cool thing. It's good. I'm gonna fear this stuff. Good, the melee eye is gone. This is such an ugly floor. Cause fear, though. Is doing the work. But yeah, I mean, in the announcement that LRD was being nerfed, they actually went out and stated that part of the reason was that it bypassed the intended entrance of some vaults, which was to me, a very clear reference to the Gamma Funk Zot Trap vaults. But even if it was a reference to other vaults as well, what's the issue? You know, like, why is this considered harmful? You know, that you devote the experience gain to LRD And, you know, oh yeah, Aaron, yeah, there's a lot of, with regards to the digging nerf, there's a lot of really nasty side effects that were just kind of glossed over, I guess. I could make a list right now. The biggest one that comes to mind for me is the fact that slime is much harder now, because you used to be able to use all your digging charges. I mean, this is one of the reasons to save up digging, is to be able to dig out slime 4, so that you can actually, and because it's usually disconnected, you can actually have different staircases to access slime 5 in case TRJ or just a big giant pile of acid blobs or whatever is guarding one of the staircases. That's basically impossible now. You would need to have shatter to make that happen. And then, of course, there's all the little vaults that you're describing, like the 3x3 item vaults you need digging to access. Yeah, I hope you have charges, you know. So they've essentially removed digging as a tactical, you know, like you have to treasure it as this super rare resource, and I don't agree, you know. Stasis was removed a while ago. It's kind of like this slow march towards a worse game, you know. But Stasis was a good amulet, for more reasons than even the dispersal, you know. Like, yeah, I guess it would be pretty nice for the dispersal traps or whatever, but the fact that paralysis can just kind of happen to you, regardless of anything, regardless of MR in some cases. You know, one thing I've noticed that's interesting to me is that zigs have consistently become harder as time has gone on. And that's like an interesting metric for for difficulty in the game, is like, are zigs possible? You know, what are you supposed to do in Tomb? You have to play a very specific character in Tomb, and this was true even before dispersal traps. You have to play a very, very specific character to win Tomb now, which I think is just so obviously antithetical to good game design. The fact that there's only 1 or 2 paths now. I mean, that to me is like, obviously there's something wrong. It's, you know, if like your different archetypes can't actually win the game, you know, without risking instant death or whatever, just by virtue of trying to go 15 runes. I don't think it should be controversial that there should be multiple paths to victory. Like lots and lots of different paths, not just like 1 or 2. But I mean, I invite you to try to do Tomb without Torment immunity at this point. And without being a super mega super powerhouse character. Without worshipping Mokleb or TSO. Or Gozag. I bet you if I watch any video that doesn't follow some very strict parameters, there's going to be several spots where you could just die, unavoidably. The biggest offender there is because of Zot traps, because they can just paralyze you. And getting paralyzed in Tomb without Torment immunity is, I mean, I think you can see how that would end badly. Hey, we got deflect missiles. That is a big find. What else did we find? CBL, tornado. Alright. Optimal strategy should not crowd out alternatives. Yep. Big part of strategy RPG game design. I mean, there's no question to me that it's probably unavoidable that there's going to be a single best strategy. That's going to happen. But it doesn't have to be so far and away better that the other options are, you know, basically comedy options, you know. Like in this game, there's zero question in my mind. DDAR is the best start. Going Mochlib on that character is the best call. Wearing a broad axe and a large shield, you know, that's the way you should go. High evocations and whatnot. I mean, that's the best crawl character, hands down. I think I and Kunix have pretty well proven that that's the way to go. If you're just looking to win, because I could win 1,000 games in a row if I played nothing but DDAR. I would never lose. Barring, I mean, I guess it's technically like 0.001% or whatever chance for RNG to screw me really, really badly, but probably not. Traps being triggered by other monsters makes no sense to me. Yep. I mean, what's funny is they took a mechanic that was annoying and stupid, which is Zot traps being triggered by monsters, and then Ebering, in his infinite wisdom, decided to make that apply to all traps. It seems real silly to me. You know, I don't know. I don't get it. How are we doing on deflect missiles? 91%? We can actually get that online really fast. Let's take charms to 15 because we have an insane +4 apt. Let's take air to 10, I guess. Let's try not to die to this dude. Oh god, let's fear him. Oh, that's why I'm getting wrecked. There's a ghost moth. Are you kidding me? Did I just use the wrong thing? I must have. I'm trying to use my lamp of fire. There we go. Right, let's acid blast him, or rather ice blast him. Ooh, we could get wrecked here. I should probably heal wounds. Yeah, I'm gonna heal wounds. I hate the fact that I wasted that, but... Okay, he's dead. We'll go up to avoid just instantly dying to this dude. We'll fear him. Make some demons, demons, demons. BDC. Spark wasps are very deadly. Gotta be very careful with them. Dazzle spray. Get him blinded. Nice, he's dead. Disarm, traps, wander spell. Maybe. I don't know. Because part of the problem with traps is, like, okay, it's detected, and fine, the dispersal traps are permanent. And that's an issue, I guess. But... crap. I'm gonna scatter shot. The big problem with traps to me is that, like, when you don't see them first is probably when they can wreck you the most. I guess if you had a smite targeted trap removal spell, that would make Tomb significantly less stupid. But it would also mean that every character should get that spell, you know? It's like a no-brainer. I think the solution to traps, and I hate to say it because people think it's lazy, and it is a little bit lazy, but the solution to traps is to just take them out of the damn game, you know? Sorry, but it's just a mechanic that doesn't really work in a game so focused on choices and interactivity, and giving the player a way to deal with things when they go wrong and to counterplay the game. Traps are just stupid because it's just a big surprise, surprise death in at least some cases. using my last scatter shot. Unfortunately, it doesn't finish him, but we've got some more Ice Blast. Good. Hopefully that's our last Ghost Moth, because we're running out of resources to deal with them. Demons, demons. BVC. More demons. Got lucky, not taking much damage from that Spark Wasp. Power crept traps to a stupid level. They were always fairly stupid, in my opinion, just because of Zot traps, but I mean, you'll notice it the most in Tomb because you're forced to stair dance, or you're forced to fight a bunch of stuff with a bunch of traps around. But I mean, I do think I agree it's a problem everywhere. Uh-oh. This is very bad. I was not really paying attention. Let's teleport. Let's, there we go. Do not want to go toe-to-toe with a berserked Emperor Scorpion. That is real dumb. Even Traps and Doors, and Traps and Doors are slightly before my time, but my understanding is you took the skill and you had a higher chance to detect the traps, right? And yeah, I mean, let's see, the bolt trap almost one-shotting you. See, that sounds even dumber than the current situation, but like I don't like the idea of the only counterplay to traps being something that's RNG based. You know, like, okay, there's a higher chance you won't trigger it. There's a higher chance you won't, you will find it, but it's still a chance. And I don't know, there should be a way to, whether it's through like a positional trick or just like some skill-based way, or even a gear check, I guess I would take, to totally eliminate the problem, or to totally, I guess I should say mitigate it, you know, in the way that you can, by virtue of using positioning tricks, you can mostly mitigate paralysis for the purposes of like aimed spells, you know, banish and paralysis. You can put stuff in between you and the bad guy, and then you can totally eliminate that threat for the MR threats anyway by wearing MR items. You know, yeah, traps do not create an intelligent trade-off or puzzle. That's a good way to put it. To me, like everything in the game, every little thing should constitute something that you have to play around. And traps are not really something you play around. Traps are something, at least in the current version of Crawl, traps are something that you just put up with. You know, there's no effective way to counterplay it really. It's just something that's obnoxious and there, you know. And that to me is like a really obvious sign of bad design. Alright, we have found nothing in Spider, which is not too surprising, but still somewhat disappointing. Surprised at how bad the RNG has been this game. Let's see, Deep Elf Sorcerer, 7% Banish. How about Deep Elf Archer, 4% Slow and Confuse. Yeah, Aaron, I could see that. And then you could at least work towards being immune to it. I mean, trap skill, if it was guaranteed, I would take that. I guess. I still don't think it's a good solution. I still think the best solution that I've heard of is to just take them out of the game. Jeez, do I want to do this? I think I want to wait until I have Deflect Missiles online. Rapid Deconstruction, that's available. We're gonna, as dumb as LRD is now, it's still an excellent damage spell. We're gonna memorize it, it's especially good in here. We're gonna stop training Necromancy and we're gonna focus on getting D-Missile online. And hopefully we'll be hovering around 3%. But yeah, we have the trifecta, the magic trifecta for killing elves, which is LRD, SLS, and BVC. Katana-wielding mountain dwarves. You gotta have that Japanese steel on your dwarf. I like that. We fall through a shaft. Of course. Of course we fall through a shaft. Yeah, actually, this is pretty dangerous to be in here since we could be shafted into the end vault. I will... No! Interferenza, no! Don't make threats, they'll take it seriously. Not on my Twitch channel, please. If he doesn't remove... You need to talk to Ebring about that, actually, because he's the one messing with traps these days, not Gamafunk. Gamafunk just enjoys putting traps in his vaults. But he's found a patsy to make dumb changes to traps now. We need a little more earth magic, I think. I didn't incite anything. He said that of his own free will. Formus had got shafted 2 floors in vaults next to a room full of enemies. Shafts are dumb. Shafts have always been dumb. You know, some people swear by them and think they're awesome. I think they're especially bad in the early game, but even in the late game, they're not particularly interesting to me. You know. It's just like, okay, now you have to deal with a room full of dudes that might be able to just instantly kill you, like, on your low AC, low EV, low hit point, deep elf mage or whatever. You know. Oh, hey, we just found a real sexy book. Haunt, Malign Gateway, Death's Door, Disjunction. Those are all wonderful spells. Yeah, Interference, and that's, I had heard that about Tome, and that's one of the reasons I'm not super duper, busy, trying to play that again, you know. Yeah, this book is great. Malign Gateway is wonderful. Haunt is a great find. Haunt is the obvious winner here because we can pretty much cast it already. We can go ahead and Amnesia off slow. Haunt is effectively slow, but much better. Yeah, Wes, it sends that message every... Oh, you're Talus, okay. I don't know why I didn't know you were Talus. All right, yeah, near the Talus is the music maker I mentioned on the last stream. But yeah, Wes, the Nightbot has that set to do it every 10 minutes, but it seems like it might be doing it more often than that. On the next stream, I'll change it to like 20 minutes. Sorry about that. I'm pretty new to streaming in general, and I just kind of went a little wild while I was, well, actually what happened was I was setting that up for Twitch Plays Dungeon Crawl when I was running that, before I realized that no one's really interested in it. Break that comment over 3 different comments. I could do that too. Maybe like have it staggered to where it every 20 minutes it sends just one of them, you know? But it is you're right, it is kind of a nasty wall of text. I'm well known for shilling, and maybe that's a little much. Sorry. Okay, let's get rid of Animate Skeleton. I'm just kind of making spell space here. Let me think. I'd really like to get Malign Gateway online. That would be a real winner. But no other translocations, it's just not worth it. More people do play Tome than Dungeon Crawl, I would believe that, which is probably only because Tome has a more modern interface, you know? Okay, well, noted, I will fix the bot. I just don't want to... I don't want to alt-tab into Nightbot right now. Fool around with that while streaming. Tome has better graphics and it's on Steam. You know, you could make... I don't agree with that, by the way. I think Talus is right that it's just easier to play. The modern interface is what does it. But with that said, oh man, let's screw Gourmand. Let's wear this. I mean, you could easily make. I could put Dungeon Crawl on Steam if I wanted to. Do you guys want me to make a Dungeon Crawl client and put it on Steam? Here's a surprise. It's just gonna be like it's just gonna be Chrome. That's exactly what Duelist does, you know? Twitch plays DCS isn't a bad idea. There were a couple people enjoying it, but like, I remember I ran it for like 24 to 48 hours at one point, and the average viewership was like 3 people, and probably some of those were bots. So, it just doesn't seem... I kind of like... I don't want to say that I wish I hadn't put the time into it. Right, Wes, that's an issue. I mean, I can't even advertise my stuff in the main Discord because it's run by fascists who banned me for disagreeing with the devs a little bit too hard. Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, there shouldn't... Eating shouldn't exist in Dungeon Crawl. I mean, that's like the first thing that Hellmonk dealt with in his fork. Is he took out eating, and I thought that was a very good call. Let's put a spire between me and this guy. That's also a good point, Talus. It's actually really hard to discuss this game and have a real conversation among different players because you're right. It is like it's very much divided. You know, because a lot of people literally have not won a single game. And I remember as a newbie, it's been a while, but I do remember how insurmountable this game felt. You know, which is funny because now I can streak almost endlessly on certain combos. But it really does look like an unscalable mountain, you know, at first, because there's just so many little things in this game that can outright murder you, you know? Interesting. This is an interesting amulet as well. Talus, are you sure he wasn't just memeing with that account? Because I think I've heard of the guy you're talking about, and it's like a running gag, maybe. Possibly. That's a good ring, too. And that gives me Senv. Jeez, I really want to wear my other Pro Magic, the one in that shop, but Ring of Phasing is probably saving my life right now. Yeah, fair point, Talus. That's a lot of devotion. Anyway, Wes, in terms of you taking a week to win a game of Dungeon Crawl, you are not an average person in the way that you approach things. Like you and I have had conversations about how you take a very structured approach to learning and, you know, accomplishing, and that's very good. But I don't think most people go at it that way, and so they'll probably spend... I think your average like game-playing person will spend months on Dungeon Crawl without being able to consistently win. Maybe not months without getting their first win, but... Wow, I didn't want to open that. I have not won Tome before. I did one stream, and I was a little bit bored throughout it. But then again, I didn't get out of the starting swamp area, so... I mean, I finished the first dungeon, basically. You gotta do all the tier 1 dungeons and then all the tier 2 dungeons. See, here's the thing about Dungeon Crawl that I think really just beats the pants off of Tome, is that you're going to be many things, many emotions will run through your head on the first few floors, but boredom is not going to be one of them. You know, you're going to be frustrated probably, and you might be disappointed, but you will never be bored. Just because it's, even if you're playing like a troll, you'll get through it so fast you won't be bored. And if you're playing like a fragile character, you're not going to be bored because there's a difficulty to it, you know. And it's interesting every time. My understanding is Tome is the opposite. Jeez, I'm trying to decide if I want to buy anything here or not. I guess I could, I bet if I buy this thing, I really don't need regen MP because I'm worshipping Sif Muna. I bet if I buy this and wear it, I'll actually have more SH. I have the same SH, because the strength gives me +1. So it's like a strict upgrade for the time being. Alright, let's do Elf 3 before clearing Elf 2, the rest of Elf 2. Actually, I guess I've already cleared all of Elf 2 except for the Vault of Hollow Blades. Still, we haven't cleared Elf 1, and the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to get shafted again. Drowning NPCs in towns and keeping random equipment. Is that a real thing? Is that really what you do in Tome? Alright. I'm gonna LRD this Earth Elemental. Yeah, tedium is the enemy in game design more than anything. You know, you don't want your player to be bored. Oh, cool! We found Gel's Gravitas. Well, and Summon Forest. That's a good one. Excuse me. I think it's about time to take shields up to 15. We've reached that point of the game where we can finish our training. Alright, now hold up. Let's see how we're doing on deflect missiles. It's actually pretty good. 45%. I wouldn't really cast that if I wasn't worshipping Sif Muna. But we only have to cast it the once until it wears off. Wes, you're actually right. Certain kinds of games you encourage tedium. There's no avoiding it in an MMO, you know. Aaron, is that a joke? Oh, it's an add-on. Okay. That's comical that's required, you know. Or something that people found important enough that they added to the game, I should say. That they made an entire add-on for it. Let's channel. Yeah, Wes, I would say that unfortunately, a lot of people, when they play games, it's literally just escapism. You know, they're not looking to think about anything. They just want to turn their brains off. I mean, that's not... I want to say there's nothing wrong with that, but there kind of is. You know, I don't think it's something you should fall into the trap of doing on a regular basis. Because you're really just... It's like the opposite of being present, as I've heard it called. You're not really doing yourself any favors. Is Roka here? I just saw orcs. Yeah, there he is. Oh, you're getting haunted. There we go. Why do things in your life that are there to put you to sleep mentally? You know, it's a trap that's easy to fall into. No matter how smart you are, you know, or anything really, there's a certain allure. Okay, the spell power is not good enough yet, Aaron, but it's getting there. But yeah, I mean, it's the opposite of healthy to turn your brain off like that. I agree with you that if you're gonna, you know, if you really need some downtime, it's like you're sleeping, but you're not getting the rest out of sleeping. You know, it's not a good idea. So like you said, you know, relax, lay down, or hang out with friends. Although for some people, that's hanging out with friends is a draining thing. You know, introvert versus extrovert or whatever. But you know, there are ways to relax that are not just a complete and total waste that trains your brain to sort of engage in maladaptive behaviors, you know. Because, I mean, if something I say a lot, a phrase that I like to repeat a lot, is that your brain is a human being is basically a chemical computer surrounded by meat and water. And if you start thinking that, you know, that's not true, you're gonna kind of miss some of the things that can really screw you over in life. Oh, jeez. What am I doing? This guy can one-shot me. Although I do have D-Missile up. I think we're gonna haunt him. There we go. Oh yeah, Wes, for sure. There's like a world of difference, for me anyway, between hanging out with one person I've known for years and hanging out with that person, plus like even one or two other people that I don't know that well. You know, I completely get that. That's a fair point. God, LRD is so good in here. Despite all my complaints about the nerf to the fact that it can't break walls, man, that's still amazing for damage. It's better for damage even. Arguably overpowered. Very simple ARPG. Well, if you need some help coding, I am always available. Oh, come on. A lot of damage possible here. That's really cool, Wes. I mean, I've always thought that, you know, in terms of the people that I've sort of collected, the like-minded, you know, more easygoing, more, you know, less outrage mobby kind of people that I've collected in my Discord, there's a very powerful skill set. You know, we've got artists, we've got people who make music, we've got programmers. You know, if a few of us wanted to get together and create something, it would probably be a pretty solid team, you know. Right, and Aaron actually has experience, you know. I made a game in college. It was a 3D, very simple thing. Let me think. I do not have resistance, and sadly that's really, really important here. I think we're gonna have to fog. Oh, that's really bad. It's really bad that we've walked into a Deep Elf Sorcerer here. I don't want to teleport. I haven't cleared the main vault at all, really. Let's think about this. D-missile's still up, that's good. I almost want to haste. I mean, I think it would be in my best interest. I think we're going to brilliance, actually. He's noticed me. Okay, fine. This is okay. We can still haunt. Okay, we haunted. He hellfired. He didn't hit me with the hellfire because of the haunt. Why don't we go ahead and start channeling? He can still blast me with corrosive bolt. Let's see. That's hurl hellfire, by the way, not call down. So he can't hit me with that, at least. This is a big issue, though, Nicola being here. He can really, really wreck me. I want to silence, but I didn't memorize it. If I put enough dudes on the board, I can probably avoid getting chain lightning to death. This is definitely a haste situation. I hate to say it, but it is. Okay, that's a good haunt. That's a really good haunt. Slow him down, please. Oh boy, that was that a chain lightning? Yes, it was. Wrecking my wraiths. Quezzle. Quezzle, don't you dare. Drink Brilliance, Malign Gateway. That's an option, but it's 47%, and that's a ton of my mana I'd be blowing to roll the dice. I'd rather go for the safer option, you know. Let's BVC these dudes. And let's just LRD them to death. I don't think I can be double zapped from this position. Nicola being here was a real bad luck kind of thing. Okay, we're still hasted. I want to get upstairs. This is really annoying. I'm gonna fear it doesn't do anything. I'm gonna fear again. Oh jeez, I could actually die here. Close the door. Do I want to teleport? Our hit points are crap. We can totally get one-shotted here. Going in here I knew was a risk. I didn't expect it to be quite so ugly. I think we're gonna have to teleport probably. I mean, there's so much crap out on the floor that I doubt that the inner vault is as much of a mess as I'm expecting it to be, just because we've lured not to go to elf. My options were limited. I could have probably finishing vaults 1 through 4 would have been the better option, but whatever. We're gonna get the loot. We're gonna win this. It's gonna be awesome. Let's start the teleport up. Let's drink agility. Let's drink heal wounds. Let's fight him for door access. Let's channel. Jeez, I really would like to not risk getting hit in the face by him. Why am I not regenerating? Let's put that on. Boom, good teleport. Vaults is easier than elf. Depths is not. I would agree with the second part of that statement. I would not necessarily agree with the first. The thing about elf is that if you have the right tools, it becomes mostly super easy. I have the right tools. I have LRD, I have SLS, and I have BVC. just obliterates elves. The only thing that's particularly bad about it is the Master Archers can still do a ton of damage. And, jeez, this is really bad. And you can still take a ton of damage from these dudes if your spells don't want to kill them fast enough, you know. This is cool. I can hit him, but he can't hit me due to smite targeting. But yeah, depths is not a good place to be. And I don't really go into it until it's the last possible place I could be going. I hate deaths more than getting a third rune. I mean, part of the problem there is it's not just the monster set. It's the fact that the vaults that spawn in there are just so insane. Like that can spawn in there, I should say. Cash in now. You better give me that Twitch Prime subscription with the with the Amazon Prime Quezzle. Okay, we're trying to use Spires to block the damage here. I can't just trust D-Missile to do its job. We've got a knight next to us. Let's pop on Ring of Ice. Okay, good. Well, Quezzle, it's the thought that counts. I appreciate it. Okay, this guy could do quite a lot of damage to me as well with his quick blades. Floor-wide depths vaults. Yup. Not fun to deal with. Alright, really like that we have Haunt online. So crucial. It's not, I wouldn't call it perfectly online, but with Sif Muna we're not likely to get hit with a miscast. The BVC Wombo combo really lets us take these dudes out with a certain amount of safety. I see we found an Amulet of Faith, but I just don't, I don't care. On the other hand, I need to hit max piety if I want the Sif Muna points for the tournament. Haunt is really bullshit. Yeah, it's powerful, man. But it's a level 7 spell, what do you expect? Part of the damage happening here is from BVC, but BVC is the ultimate combo with it and really any other summoning spell because it kills the monster's EV. So all your allies are then hitting way, way more often. I want to Amnesia. Actually, I'm pretty happy with all these spells. Oh, hell yeah, we've reached the crystal. Time to be super cheesy. You'll see. Boom, mega damage. Manual of dodging, hell yeah. Magic regen, irrelevant. Did I just pick up... Oh, the Ring of the Final Allies. Star Slow, no thanks. Okay, Aaron, good luck. Have fun. Poisonous Vapors, Meth Cloud, Conjure Flame, and Freezing Cloud. Nope. I better pick up this stave. That's fire. Found a lot of these guys, actually. Staff of Power, that's not bad, but really wanting wizardry or energy. Wukad Mu would be the ultimate, but that's not just going to spawn here. I don't even know if it can. Oh. Thank you, Talus. I didn't notice that on the ground there. Oh. That's not awful. I'd lose 6 AC, but it would resolve my resistance situation. Because right now we're wearing a plus... Well, excuse me, I would lose 4 AC. And 6 slaying, but that doesn't really matter. I think this is worth it. Probably. Just to get the RC, so we don't get surprise owned from like a 75 damage dragon, just regular ice dragon. Did I see a scarf? Nope. And there's a chainmail here, but who cares about that? Wow, even my elf loot is just so anemic. Just nothing. Gloves of archery. Well, we're not throwing anything, so that's not valuable. Man, I'm disappointed. I went through all this risk. And found nothing valuable in here. Except for this ring mail, which is, well, not great. And I suppose I bought that amulet. Demon Trident with -5 int. Yeah, let me just pop that on. I mean, actually, come to think of it, I am going to carry that around, strictly because I want to have a Senv swap. Well, actually, there's just a generic ring, so I'll take that as the swap instead. I want to drop some more things. Yeah, whatever, I don't need to do inventory management right now. Technically, Elf is not done, because I haven't finished Elf 1. Unlikely to find anything here, though. The obvious solution is to crack slime. Hello, Darkwing Drake. That's... I think you're joking, but that's probably what I'm going to do next. Oh. Man, I'm blind today. How did I miss that? Yeah, that is pretty good. That's, I mean, with the way this character is running right now, I'd qualify that as a swap, but it is pretty good. Unfortunately, we need the MR at all times, but I can swap the Arlec on if I run into like a Spark Wasp or something. Of course, we've already dealt with the nastiest electric threat that we're likely to face for a while, which is Nicola. We're out of mana here. Slightly annoying. It's +5 glaive of protection. But yeah, you're right. That's a good ring. I hadn't noticed that I picked it up. Definitely noticing the slight AC penalty that we're saddled with now, since we switched ring mails. But all in all, I think it's the right choice. Darkwing, I have 2 runes, Swamp and Spider. I've cleared Vaults 1 and was having trouble there, so I left. I've cleared all of Elf except for the first floor and Hall of Blades, which I'm not going to do. And all in all, the character is going pretty well. And of course we cleared Lair. My Hofi of Che has +8 Scimitar Flaming. How far will it carry me? Well, the better question is, why aren't you casting? Because Hill Orc actually has good fire, aptitude, and with Che your intelligence won't suck, so you should probably be focusing on spells. I don't know, like if I'm going Che, I wouldn't really devote myself to swords or weapons at all, especially on a Hill Orc where your unarmed combat apt is pretty good. I would eventually be trying to transition into being a statue. So basically I would train the scimitar until it's like, I mean, long blades to whatever it takes to get that to where your attack is like 1-aught or lower, and then I would never train that again, and I would as soon as I find statue form, I'd try to be a punch man. Alright, we've been forced into dropping some crap. I may do extended, I may not. 5 people have won Deep Elf Monks already, which shocks me. So I kind of need to win this if I want to get the Nemelex points. Crypt would be super, super easy. It's not quite unlocked yet because I haven't cleared vaults to there. Slime is more viable than you might think, and I'll prove it. Although maybe not on this character. All right, we'll drop Amnesia is what we'll drop. Pick up Summoning. Drop Polymorph, because that's garbage at this stage of the game. Keep on going. Yeah, that's a smart move. Iron Shot is going to take you nicely into stat form, so that's also the path I would try to go for. Bolt of Magma is a weird spell to use, but sounds like this is one of the rare situations where it's the right one. Net and Immo, maybe. This guy really doesn't want to be in there, if I'm being honest, because his hit points are so low. D-Missile will save me to some degree, but whoops. Whoa, hello. That's unexpected. Let's rest and reset. Orc has -3 transmutes. I mean, you can focus mostly on Earth and still get stat form online, and Che's intelligence boost will help you in the spell power department. Our core is available in the form of Acid Dragon Scales and apparently a ring that I didn't notice. So acid blobs will be less nasty, but still pretty nasty, especially if they get melee on me. For this character, the answer is pretty clearly to get Malign Gateway online. That's the answer to slime on this guy. Or I could just haunt things to death in there, I suppose. Yeah, acid blobs, like, it's easy to think that our corrosion is going to make them into kittens, but it doesn't at all. Okay, we have to kill this demonologist ASAP. Take out the executioner before he melees me. My absent-mindedness today might kill you. This is not the right character to be absent-minded on, I will admit. What it is that I'm hungry. I'm gonna probably stop the stream soon to make myself something. That's why I'm not thinking straight. Darkwing, is there a Twitch bot I could send in here, I wonder? Probably built by Gamma Funk. I'll have to make a meme version of it. Lom Lobot, yeah, that's Gamma Funks. I recall a while back that I was going to think about making my own version of that, since it's open source. Since I imagine if Gamma Funk found out I was using it, he would try to figure out some way to ban me from it. Yeah, exactly. He's a very petty guy. Don't let him find out that you disagree with anything he's done. Wow, that's a wacky ring. Drop evasion. Yeah, that... if we were to find a ton of RF, that might be worth using just for the strength. We could find ourselves wearing half-decent dragon armor if we had that much strength. Could wear FDA with that. That's worth looking into. Although that would leave me with RC null, so I'm gonna have to wait until we have a little bit more, like one more pip of RC. Plus that would kill my MR, which is the whole point of wearing this ring mail, so not good. So as usual with the deep elves that I play, I find myself wanting to do 40 things at once. I really want to get Malign Gateway online, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Charms and air magic. Are we pretty good on deflect missiles now? We're good enough. We don't need to train that anymore. Let's take summonings to 15. And let's do that and try to get Haunt into a more castable, more spell power place. Spell power, as far as I know, actually matters a lot for Haunt because it gives you more dudes. So we wanna make that happen. The shields training will also help me get Haunt a little more online. Alright, let's think about this. Really the only two choices are vaults and vaults, depths, which we're not going to, and slime. Slime's just not going to happen yet. Let's go to vaults. Let's try to sneak into the crypt. Oh, that's weird. Somehow I didn't find this scroll of summoning. I didn't fully explore Orc. Weird. Nice stabs. My stealth from my misadventures and skilling in the beginning of the game is still providing some value, I guess. That is a big, mean, nasty giant. At least I can abuse these metal walls. Spell power is a meme on most spells. Most summoning spells, especially. Hey, wait, did they, hold up. Did they nerf... Does anybody know if they nerfed the Warden trick yet? Has that survived? Can I bypass, some BS with that still? The one where you pull the Warden up to whatever floor you want and you, fight it by getting it to pull things to you? I guess I can test it real quick. Or did I say Warden? I meant to say Convoker. We'll leave some alive on a future floor. And test it later. It's mostly good for Zot. Oh, hey, doesn't. How you doing? D-channeler infestation. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Infest would be... I think you're right that Infest is the right move. After we get Haunt a little more. can't memorize that many levels of magic. Not so good. It's actually almost castable if I had the spell levels. How many spell levels do we have? 7 out of 9. I guess we can train a little bit of spell casting. But yeah, Haunt would allow me to do Vaults 5. Mostly. Sort of. Still pretty vulnerable. Like a single Titan versus this guy. Yeah, I could pop on Arlek, but I mean, this guy's not surviving in melee against anything big. So even small mistakes can punish me quite badly. Found boots of running on your Che orc. Sorry. That sucks. He also hates quick blades, which has always felt really dumb to me. Because he's happy with you attacking super duper quickly with your fists, but because the weapon has quick in the name, for some reason, that conduct's not allowed. Yeah, Draconians are regularly disappointing. When it comes to that kind of thing. Alright. Alright. Alright, that was the worst lamp I've ever had. It's weird, I should be getting 2 trails at 10 evocations, but maybe not. Good. Got rid of the fast guy. We're still quite corroded. Yeah, Che, there actually are reasons you might want to use a haste potion early on with Che. Or Berserk, even. Tactical reason, especially while turn count running. Alright, now hold up. Is Dispel Undead hungerless? Hell yeah it is. We're gonna have a very easy crypt. I'll probably take a break after I do crypt. And we'll see if anybody else has won. Wow, that stab sucked. What's going on? Come on. Why is BVC not working? It's like constricting them and then losing their grip immediately. Is this a bug? It happened like 5 times in a row. Okay. Is it because they were all shapeshifters? I don't know, that's strange. As far as I know, they still haven't changed the fact that metal does the most damage for LRD, so always try to focus on that. Wardens can't be shifters. I thought shifters could be anything. I didn't know there were any limitations. Blame bugs on Gamma Funk. Alright. I mostly blame bad design on Gamma Funk. I don't try to pin bugs on him. Unfortunately, the bad things he does are entirely by design. A lot of limitations on shifters. They have to be something that's poly-intuable. Interesting. I think it's funny that it's possible for me to be like really good at this game, but still lack some basic knowledge about things like that. Which is probably a sign that the game, you know, that's a sign of good design, I think. That you don't have to code dive to be able to intuitively figure things out, you know. Although, I mean, code diving provides you with some context that probably makes you a better player in a lot of situations. I would be unsurprised if the polymorph code is broken, honestly. That sounds like a good place to have bad code, if you know what I mean. Or a likely place. It's a bad man. Yeah, no bad men allowed. Man, look at me just obliterating this stuff with the spell undead. Awesome. Alright, let's do a quick crypts, and then we'll take a break. Oh, these are zombies. They're not going to follow me. What am I doing? Storm Dragon, Rhyme Drake, this sucks. I don't want to be surrounded by this stuff. Regen. Can I take out this dragon quickly, please? Thank you. Good. And the giant. Rhyme Drake, I guess, is the next most annoying. Eden needs to go away. Crap. Okay, acid got him. Kind of a impeded entranceway here. Oh god. Oh, really bad. Do I have blink? I don't have blink. Well, we're RC plus. Still, it's fire giant. Good damage. Why don't we... I'm not playing around with this. We're gonna holy word. Make this place a little less impeded. Oh my god. I don't want that to happen again. Let's put that in the way. He could still dump a cloud on my head, but he can't fireball me again like this. Let me see. Can I... If he takes a step forward and I move here, I can hit him, but he can't hit me. Or he could just do that. That's fine, I guess. Whatever. Should have expected him to walk around. You're too scared of tormenting skulls to do crypt. Well, Dispel Undead is just kind of a cheater spell in here, since it kills everything that's dangerous, including the skulls. Whoa, am I out of mana? Crap, I am. I thought channel would... I wasn't really paying attention. The channel didn't give me my mana fast like I thought it would. Maybe I failed. I just wasn't paying attention. I got some artifacts. not particularly useful. Man, did they nerf Dispel Undead, I wonder? Seems to be doing less damage than I'm used to. Whatever I'm fighting might not be undead. 12 rations ain't much. Yeah, that's true, but also my spell power, or my spell casting is like 21, so none of my spells are really costing me. Oh, I was trying to dispel undead and necromancer. LOL. But yeah, the food situation does kind of suck. Anti-magic. Okay. Yeah, food would be pretty annoying in here if I was not totally immune to spell hunger at this point for the spells that I'm casting. It's pretty difficult for most characters to get level 6 spells hungerless, or level 5 spells hungerless even, like Dispel Undead. Geez, I seem to remember this doing a hell of a lot more damage even at non-max spell power. Making Tomb Impossible is their pet project. Yeah, so I've noticed. Is that verified though? Did they actually nerf the damage of Dispel Undead, or am I just imagining things? Definitely possible that I'm imagining things. I always think these dudes with this new tile are some kind of unique, because it's just a wraith with a crown on its head. Would have worked so much better as a unique. Just artistically. Wait, can we be paralyzed? 1%. I don't usually like to risk it. Swiftness, Blink, and Chain Lightning. I have been waiting for Blink forever. That's wow, is that a log from the dev chat that you have there? An actual genuine log? I believe it. Boy genius. More intelligence. Alright, we officially... Well, never mind. I was going to say we officially have Infestation, but I need one more spell level. Because I memorized Blink. We bounced the Orb of Destruction, very nice. You know, it's not necessarily his ideas for the game that bother me the most. I mean, yeah, of course I disagree with him, fine. It's the way that he handles criticism. You know, he like preemptively blocked me and Quezzle from his Twitch like I was gonna go like come in there and harass him or something, which of course I wouldn't. I mean, he banned everybody from Beam who disagreed with him. It's just a number of things that really shock me from somebody who's like the head dev of a project to act that way. Just very, very surprising stuff. I mean, it's one thing to have bad or even dumb ideas about game design, like that's to be expected, that there's going to be people like that get the ability to screw up a game, you know. Honestly, it's not a nice way to say it, but that's the truth. We're teleporting. But it's just like when you are so closed off to being told that you're wrong. I mean, like his idea of, okay, this worked out. I ran downstairs. His idea of dealing with somebody who disagrees with a change he's made is to like brutally mock that person, and then have like the group of yes men in the main roguelikes Discord sort of chuckle alongside, and it just feels like very nasty to me. This is, speaking of nasty, this is bad enough that I want pet spiders and ants and things. And that is an LCS lich. Whew. So I gotta stay away from him. I wish I had more holy word. Can't even go upstairs. This is dumb, but I think I'm gonna Phantom Mirror. I'm about to get butt blasted by Daddy Lich. Maybe. Let's, what am I doing? Let's channel. Did the acid miss me? I guess it did. Let's walk away. Let's, he brought out the spell book. Oh no. I'm gonna, oh my god. I gotta get dudes in between me and him. Alright, now we're gonna cast E-Missile. We're gonna dispel the Phantasmal Warrior, because I really don't want to get MR minus right now. Alright, Daddy's hasted. Very bad. Let's feel of floods this dude. Makes a bit of noise. Let's BVC him and let my allies wreck him. Nice. Alright. We've defeated Big Daddy Lich. Hopefully we don't meet Grandpa Lich, aka Ancient Lich. I will say the things that are immune to Dispel Undead here are pretty annoying, although part of it's my fault because I'm not busting out Haunt as often as I should be. Favorite spell book. I'm reminded of that picture from 4chan where like Goofy's busting through the door and it's like, no, Goofy, no! I don't know if you guys have seen that. That's me with that Lich. I'll post it in the Discord later. Burning through rations still. It's not too bad though. More afraid of ancient liches than orbs of fire. At least I know what I'm expecting. Yeah, depends on the character largely, but yes, ancient liches are usually, I would say, more dangerous threats. Are you kidding me? Bolt of negative energy. I need Senv. He's right here. Okay. No, Dad, no. Yeah. It's Goofy time! I don't want to say that See Invisible is, like, crucial here, but it makes your life a lot easier. Of course, I shouldn't be walking around without the MR, or else I'm going to get paralyzed by a knight, vampire knight. Anyway, if you have... I mean, if you're like a melee dude with access to silence, Ancient Liches are a joke. And that's the nice thing about fighting them instead of Orbs of Fire. But barring that narrow situation, yeah, they're generally more of a danger than OOFs. That vampire enemy in depths who two-shots you. Are you talking about Jory? Yeah, he's funny because he seems easy, and then he's not. You know? It's very easy to underestimate him, because sometimes he just kind of chooses not to fling his LCS at you. But like, man, when he's just got it in for you, he will chase you down. Because he can just blink, he can blink right to you, you know? Just never let you go. No, Jory has a weapon as well, but that's the thing, is that, like, he can, wait, does Jory have Invis? Jory does not have Invis. Regular melee dude who, are we talking about a unique here? It's not Frederick. I cannot think of a melee... Oh, well, that's not a unique. Yeah, Vampire Knights can paralyze you, is the thing. That's the biggest deal with them. And when they paralyze you, as you say, they have a weapon and do good damage. So, and here's the other thing, is they often spawn with phantasmal guys around them who can have your MR. So if you're not paying attention or you don't know exactly how that interaction works, you can just get sort of turboed by the paralyzed wombo combo there. It's not a fun time. Uh-oh, hasted Ancient Champion. Good time to bust out Haunt. Boy, this is a lot of stuff. Good time to bust out maybe Malign Gateway combo with Brilliance. Oh, we have experience. What am I doing? I noticed that earlier, and then I just didn't drink it. Hello, Barry. Welcome to my Twitch. It's not so great. Iron Shot, possible. But even Bolt of Draining would be pretty nasty on this guy, considering my lack of Arneg. Let's try to get a better Haunt. Okay, that's not quite what I was looking for. We'll use Feel. I really just want dudes in between me and him. Channel. Put a Spire there. And BVC this stuff. This is actually a pretty bad situation. But I think we have it mostly handled. Don't say... I was not planning on it. Although... Negative energy. Okay, is that what that is? Alright. My bad. Sorry for cursing so much. This is a good spot for acid. Dude, I almost want to haste, but I only have one left. This is really a nasty situation, though. I need more... Yeah, there we go. With Haunt. With Haunt, we can make this less messy. And it's the Haste Lich. Oh wait, all Liches have haste. But still, he could bolt me a couple of times if I'm not careful. So let's back off. Let's Haunt him again. And let's channel. Why did I learn Summon Demon? That spell's bad. You would be surprised. I thought the same thing for the longest time. And at this point in the game, yes, I should go ahead and amnesia it. But with that said... Hold on, let me clean this up. And then I'll finish my sentence. Wow, what a brutal Crips 3 entrance. Yeah, so it's actually really good. It's kind of, I mean, imagine having access to endless Mochleb minor servants. That's what Summon Demon is. And if you play a lot of Mochleb, you'll quickly realize that minor servant is excellent for... It's actually better than Greater Servant in terms of reliability, and it doesn't cost that much piety, and it's just really nice to have those guys with you all the time. So the spell is not terrible. All right, I can just LRD the champions. I forgot about that. They're skeletons. But yeah, at this point in the game, I should amnesia that off. And I'll tell you what else I should do is I should finally memorize Infestation. And we should have some fun with that. Whoa, let's slow down. We've got our Grandpappy here. What to do? Put the Spire up to block. We'll Haunt him, so he can't do too much to us. He hastes himself. Always scary. Let's BVC him for the win. Ooh, lightning bolted me. Crap. Wait, this is really bad. Let's channel. Very worrying. Stop hitting me. Oh, I need a blink is what I need to do. There we go, that's a good blink. Not thinking straight here. Nice, okay, he's done. Ancient champions are so easily overlooked, but the truth is they're one of the highest damage monsters in the game. And the fact that they can haste themselves means that damage only goes up, because then they can Iron Shot you twice in a row. I want to say they can do something like 150 damage. Actually, I didn't get to learn Blink until way later. But it's definitely the right way to escape many, many, many situations. Right up until the end of the game. Look how much of a steamroll Dispel Undead is versus Curse Skulls. Just automatically hits them, pretty much always does a ton of damage. I just one-shotted him. It's great. Alright, now, Crypts 3 has been a disappointment in terms of loot, which is par for the course for the way this game has gone. This is not, I mean, outside of Ring of Phasing, which is the only particularly nice item I've found, if you look at my equipment right now, this is really weird. I only have 2 big loot piles left, and I'm running around with only 1 particularly good artifact. I guess 2 if you want to count the amulet or Yag. Okay, Staff of Death. That's a decent find. Spell power is nice to have. We'll use that. That's not terrible. And wizardry if I wanted to cast higher level things, but shouldn't be necessary. Your character doesn't really have an Ascension kit yet. Well, that's the cool thing about worshipping Sif Muna is the Ascension kit is your spells pretty much. You know, I mean, this is not item-wise. This is pretty bad, but with spells, I mean, I have everything I could ever want. Mostly, I mean, I could easily ascend with the spells that I've got as long as I... Well, I used my last sack. I'd probably want some more sacks, but other than that, we've got Disjunction. That's excellent for Ascension. Anyway, I'm going to take a break. I'll probably stream again, maybe in like a couple hours or so. Yeah, that will be painful if you're not cautious. That's the thing, is that gear past a certain point just makes the game kind of less horrible, you know? But it's never really a thing that you need, barring certain gear checky type things like MR. But it will make your game just much less painful. But yeah, I'll take a break. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll do Vaults 5 probably in a very straightforward fashion, just go straight to it. With Infestation, it should be pretty easy. Then again, I might detour after Vaults 4 and do Slime, but it's looking like I'm not going to have Malign Gateway online, which would be my preferred way of dealing with stuff in there. So basically, we'll see. I'm going to play it by ear, take it as I go, and see what I think is the best pathing, you know, next time. But until then, I am signing out.